So we've looked at transport in Glasgow and some of the problems that the Glasgow faces from the increase in car ownership and the increased traffic. So now we're going to look at the same in Mumbai so we can get a nice comparison. So actually only a small percentage of Mumbai own a car because the sheer expense and also we've seen slumming it so we know what it's like. And that also adds to a lot of the problems, but we'll talk about it a bit later on. So the only a small percentage own a car, but because of the sheer number of people, that actually still means hundreds of thousands of people have cars because the population is so large. So most people tend to use public transport or tuk-tuk, which is a taxi and three wheels, and we'll come to that later on. You've probably seen it on loads of documentaries and stuff. But millions of people are always on the go, moving around the city, commuting to work. And you'll see some pictures where they will just walk in between traffic, obviously causing more traffic jams and kind of increasing the severity or the likelihood of danger from that. So, two main problems in Mumbai: traffic congestion, as we can see, and pollution. A lot of kind of motorbikes as well because of the narrow streets. If you think about slumming it, some of the streets were very, very narrow, but a car or a truck or a van wouldn't fit down. Much better for a scooter, moped, or motorbike. So we can see traffic congestion. Traffic is completely backed up. There is literally people, if you can see in this picture, in between the cars just walking. So even when traffic is getting ready to go again, they're not actually able to move because people are in the way. Just behind this bus, you can see the tuk-tuks that, or the tuk-tuks, or whatever you want to call them, just sitting behind this bus. So very small vehicles, again, because of narrow streets. So what problems are there, or what causes the congestion? So millions of people commuting to work, so moving to and from work, very similar to Glasgow, we'll have rush hours. Old roads that were not designed for cars and trucks because when Mumbai was built, cars and trucks were not invented. Again, very, very similar to Glasgow. And Mumbai is on a peninsula, so bridges become bottlenecks. So the only way you can get to it is by crossing these bridges. So everybody reaching the CBD has to go over these bridges at some stage, probably during the rush hour. So if we can see here, you've got your central business district down at the kind of bottom of this peninsula area. Is surrounded by water, so you can't add in any more round roads or anything because there's nowhere to build on. From this part of the city here, there is your bridges here, here, and potentially here. So you've got like 3 bridges, but you've got millions of people commuting to work in the CBD every day. So millions of people on 3 bridges is going to lead to a huge traffic problem and bottlenecking, as we know. So pollution is the second problem. Why is it particularly bad in Mumbai? The sheer volume of cars just adds up. Most of the cars use leaded fuel, which produces more CO2. In the UK, we use unleaded fuel because it's better for the environment. There is cars sitting in traffic, so all the kind of fumes and CO2 and smoke and whatever else coming out of their exhaust just starts to build up because so many people are sitting stuck in traffic for so long. And then the high-rise buildings in the city centre keep the gas trapped in. So if you think we've got high-rise buildings like that right along the road, all the smoke in the middle part, there's nowhere for it to go, so it gets kind of trapped in between these buildings. And it actually is called the heat island effect. So you've got a task to do in your OneNote. I want you to give 2 reasons why traffic congestion is so bad in Mumbai, and then what's causing pollution levels to rise in Mumbai. So in your OneNote, jump onto that and answer the questions for me. So here is kind of the design of a tuk-tuk. They're very small engine, look a bit like tricycles, but they've got seats in the back for passengers and 1 seat in front for the driver. So you've got another task to do now. Decide whether each of the following solutions solves either pollution or congestion. So we've got, does more bridging points solve pollution or traffic congestion? Does building a ring road solve pollution or traffic congestion? Does installing traffic lights and roundabouts solve pollution or congestion? Does relocating offices to outside the city centre, does it solve pollution or congestion? Using unleaded fuels or biofuels, does it solve pollution or congestion? And promoting public transport, does it solve pollution or congestion? All right, and on your OneNote, you'll be able to put them into a table letting me know which one of these solutions solves pollution or congestion. So, again, when we look at trains as a solution to public transport, we still have problems with trains. Now, we've got people kind of standing in this middle makeshift platform. We've got hundreds and hundreds of people right along these platforms ready to get on the train, ready to travel around Mumbai. And what, if you've ever seen films like Slumdog Millionaire, what you find is people will be hanging on to the outside of the train just to travel. So overcrowdedness, being cramped, old trains all add to kind of problems within Mumbai. If you have any questions, then feel free to stick them in the conversations tab in our Teams, and I will make sure I answer them.